y'all, Kristen here, and welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be sharing with you all some ways you can improve your fall style, and one of the ways that I do that is by incorporating flannel. I love a good trusty flannel. It's a great piece for fall, for winter. It's a great layering piece. So I'm going to share with you all 7 different ways in which I incorporate flannel into my wardrobe, ways in which I mix and match things, and create just some really interesting, unique, fun styles. I've had so much fun making this video. I've definitely come up with various combinations that I hadn't even thought of before. Let's jump on into this video and let's get started. First tip, and the first thing that I really experimented with, was not being afraid of color. So, as a minimalist, someone who has capsule wardrobes, a lot of times I try to stay away from too bold, bright colors, but actually with flannels, you can incorporate some color here and kind of mix and match things, especially with graphic t-shirts in general. It's a great layering piece. I've actually paired this flannel with a similar color. It's a greenish color, and I love it. I love it because it's fall vibey color, because it's that dark green. I already love a dark green. It looks great on my skin tone. I just love that, and it goes really great with flannel. It goes great with a pair of jeans. It goes great with a pair of black denim, leggings, pretty much any pair of pants that I would want to incorporate and add here. I also have a flannel that is more of like a creamish, tannish vibe, and I've incorporated that with a fall rusty red color, and that's just another great way I can use a more neutral style flannel and incorporate a little bit of fall color with that as well, by putting a t-shirt, a shirt, a v-neck underneath that pops out and brings out a little bit of color there. So I encourage you all, play around with this a little bit, incorporate a little bit of color into your wardrobe if you haven't previously. I think that flannel, and especially fall time, is a great way to incorporate some greens, some reds, something that adds color, especially if you already have a neutral base, like you already have some of those neutral tones. Feel free to add some color here, to play around with it and to have fun with it. I really was challenging myself to not be afraid and step away from the color, but to lean in and to step into adding a little bit of color to my wardrobe, and so that has just been really, really, really fun for me. Second tip here, ways to size up. So this flannel isn't as big, but my tan-ish, neutral creamish style flannel sized, and it goes way past my butt, so that's more of an oversized, and so I would encourage you all here to do that, to size up and to find a flannel of different sizes, play around with the textiles, play around with the sizes, maybe size up a size or size up 2 sizes. I think with that it adds more versatility in the fall for layering. So I've actually paired and done a sweatshirt underneath my oversized flannel, and I think it's a great way to not only maintain that warmth and that practicality of fall, but it's also a great styling piece / statement, because you're able to pair something that's a little bit thicker fabric, a little bit fluffier, warmer, cozier, with a flannel over top, and it's a great layering piece. It's a great styling piece, and it's something that you can use what you already have in your wardrobe. The next tip is layers. Layers. I love layers. It is the greatest thing about fall weather time. I love being able to layer with a flannel, with a cardigan, with a jacket, and so here I would encourage you, especially on those colder days, to really layer up. So have a t-shirt, have a flannel over top, and then throw on a jacket over top of that flannel. I think it adds texture and variety, and especially you can play around with materials here. I've paired my flannel with 2 different options. I've paired it with a wool style, which is a warmer, thicker fabric in a neutral, kind of a charcoal gray color, with orange fabric on the inside. With the flannel, I think it adds just that great texture, variety, warmth to the piece, and I also just love that it's that wool fabric. I love the play and being able to layer 3-4 pieces on top of each other, especially when it's cold outside. I think it's practical, but it also adds that styling element. I've also paired it with almost a thicker, limeish green colored jacket over top of the flannel, and I think that's cool too, because it's a little bit more of a brighter green color, again a play on colors, but it looks good with the darker green here, and it's adding that layer of warmth, that added texture. Fourth tip is joggers. Have fun and incorporate joggers with your flannel. This is something I hadn't really thought about until I kind of was experimenting with things in my wardrobe, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have a pair of neutral beige joggers that I can pair with my cream and beigeish tan flannel, and that will look great. also just, I think, pairs really nicely, especially if you want to tone down and really have more of a casual, cozy, staying in my pajamas feel for the day for fall. Wearing a pair of joggers and a flannel is a great staple piece. And the next tip here is to dress it down, and the way in which I do that is by pairing it with a pair of jeans. Now, I've chosen a pair of ripped kind of legging style jeans because I find that these are a little bit more casual. They just work really well with this flannel, so I've paired it with a pair of jeans. I think denim of any color is going to work great here. If you want to do more of a mom style or do a different type of denim, that's great. Use what you have, but I like the idea of pairing a flannel with a pair of jeans. It's neutral. It's going to match with pretty much any pair of jeans that you have, but it tones down and just makes the flannel appear more casual. You know, the flannel is already more casual style, casual vibe, but you can certainly lean into that a little bit more or lean away from it based on what you pair with it, whether that's your tops, your bottoms. And that brings me into my next thing, is I actually dressed up my flannel and tried pairing it with a kind of a mock neck that's a thicker sweatery material, which I think is great. It added just kind of some texture there, but also dressed up the outfit enough that I could honestly probably go wear this to work, wear it to church on Sunday with a nice pair of black slacks. Like, you're able to really play around here and create more of some different vibes. You know, for me, I love a good flannel, but sometimes I'm feeling a little bit more feminine, and so I want something with less structure, so I'll pair it with something like the mock neck, or I'll pair it with something like a wool sweater. As you can see here, I've paired it with a neutral style wool sweater from Everlane, and I've just thrown on the flannel over top. I think it's a great way to incorporate some thickness, some variety here to the flannel, and just give it more of that feminine energy. It makes it appear more, you appear a little bit more put together, you appear a little bit more classy, a little bit more feminine, and a great layering piece. I never really would have thought about putting a flannel over top of a sweater, but it actually looks really good together. Pairs really well. The next thing is mixing patterns. Now, this is something I don't traditionally do. I like to have kind of symmetry. I don't like things that don't match. But actually, I think I've captured this in a really great way, in that I love a good stripe, and so I had a striped turtleneck in a neutral shade gray, and I paired it with both of my flannels actually, and I thought that it looked really good. It looked good with the blue and green color, but it also looked good with more of a neutral tan cream beige color, and I hadn't really thought of that previously, but I do really love this combination. I think if you have anything, any texture, textile, t-shirt, turtleneck, mock neck, whatever you have underneath that is maybe a striped pattern or has some sort of different pattern printed on that t-shirt, that top, pair it over top of your flannel. See how it looks, play around with it. If you have other different graphic tees, other different tees that have a lot of prints on them, pair it, layer it over. I think it adds dimension, it adds kind of that cool girl energy, I think, and it makes you appear more interesting, especially if you're playing with the colors a little bit more here. And that's kind of my final tip. Experiment with different textures, different fabrics, different patterns, infinite number of possibilities here of what you can layer, what you can pair with a flannel. And so use what you have in your wardrobe. Use every different top, jacket, and pair it, and just see how it looks. Play around here. But I hope these 7 ideas were helpful for you all in kind of capturing not only shopping your wardrobe, but finding fun ways to use flannels that you have in your wardrobe. I know for me, I'm a flannel gal. I've always loved flannels. Even though I'm a feminine girly at heart, I love a good trusty flannel, something that's more structured, especially for fall. I think it helps get me in that fall mood and the fall vibe. I can light a candle, read a book in my flannel. I can go out for a nice leisurely stroll outside and view the leaves. Like, it brings me all the coziness, all the happy energy, and I've loved experimenting here. So I hope you all experimented with me and just kind of tried out different things in your wardrobe. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. But until next time, it is a beautiful day to simplify. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.